Welcome to one of the most fascinating aspects of golf etiquette, the international dimension. Golf is truly a global game, played on every continent and embedded in dozens of different cultures, each with their own traditions, expectations, and subtle variations on what we consider proper behavior on the golf course. Now, you might think golf etiquette is universal. After all, the basic principles of respect, courtesy, and course care should translate across cultures, right? Well, yes and no. While the fundamental spirit of golf etiquette is indeed universal, the specific expressions of that etiquette can vary dramatically from country to country, and understanding these differences can mean the difference between fitting in seamlessly and inadvertently causing offense. Whether you're playing golf during business travel, on vacation, or as part of international networking, understanding cultural differences in golf etiquette shows sophistication, respect, and global awareness that can open doors and create lasting relationships. Let's start with the birthplace of golf, Scotland and the broader United Kingdom, because understanding traditional golf etiquette helps you appreciate how the game has evolved and spread around the world. Scottish golf culture is steeped in tradition and has a distinctly different flavor from American golf. The game was born on the windswept links courses of Scotland, where weather conditions are often harsh and the golf is always challenging. This has created a culture that values perseverance, understatement, and a certain stoicism about the difficulties of the game. In Scotland, particularly at traditional links courses, there's less emphasis on pristine course conditions and more on playing the course as you find it. You're expected to deal with wind, rain, irregular bounces, and challenging conditions without complaint. In fact, complaining about the weather or course conditions is considered poor form and marks you as an inexperienced or inappropriate golfer. The pace of play in Scotland tends to be faster than what many Americans are used to. Ready golf is not just encouraged, it's expected. Standing over putts for extended periods or taking multiple practice swings is frowned upon. The attitude is, see it, hit it, find it, hit it again. Dress codes at Scottish courses, particularly the famous links courses, tend to be traditional but practical. Tweeds, wool sweaters, and weather-appropriate gear are more important than fashion statements. Many Scottish courses have relaxed their dress codes somewhat for international visitors, but showing up in loud colors or obviously American golf attire can mark you as a tourist. Here's something about Scottish golf culture that's important to understand. There's a deep respect for the history and traditions of the game, but also a certain democratization. Golf in Scotland has always been more accessible to different social classes than in many other countries, and there's less emphasis on exclusivity and more on the pure enjoyment of the game. Tipping culture in Scotland is also different from what Americans might expect. Tipping is appreciated, but not expected to the same degree as in the United States. Over-tipping can actually be seen as ostentatious or inappropriate. Let's move to Ireland, which shares many traditions with Scottish golf, but has its own distinct culture and character. Irish golf culture tends to be more social and conversational than Scottish golf. The Irish are famous for their storytelling and hospitality, and this extends to the golf course. Expect more conversation during rounds, more socializing in the clubhouse, and a generally more relaxed approach to the social aspects of golf. However, this social nature doesn't mean less attention to etiquette. Irish golfers take great pride in their courses and expect visitors to show appropriate respect for the facilities and traditions. Course care is taken very seriously, and visitors who don't repair divots or ball marks will be quickly identified as inconsiderate. Weather in Ireland can be even more unpredictable than in Scotland, and the ability to handle changing conditions with good humor is highly valued. Don't expect rounds to be canceled for light rain or wind. Irish golfers are accustomed to playing in all conditions. The pace of play in Ireland tends to be slightly more relaxed than in Scotland, but still faster than typical American resort golf. The emphasis is on enjoying the round while keeping things moving efficiently. Now let's explore Asian golf culture, which has some fascinating variations and has grown tremendously in importance in recent decades. In Japan, golf etiquette is elevated to an art form and reflects broader Japanese cultural values of respect, precision, and consideration for others. Japanese golf culture includes several practices that might seem unusual to Western golfers, but are deeply meaningful within the context of Japanese society. For example, many Japanese courses have extensive pre-round and post-round rituals. You might be expected to change shoes in specific areas, clean your clubs thoroughly, and even participate in group stretching or warm-up activities. These aren't arbitrary rules. They reflect values of preparation, respect for the course, and group harmony. Pace of play in Japan can be surprisingly slow by American standards, but this is because of the tremendous attention to detail and course care that's expected. Every shot is carefully considered, divots are meticulously repaired, and the condition of the course is treated as a shared responsibility. Business golf in Japan often includes extensive socializing before and after the round, and these social components can be more important than the golf itself. Understanding when business topics are appropriate and when they should be avoided requires sensitivity to Japanese business culture. Dress codes in Japan tend to be conservative and formal. Even at casual courses, neat traditional golf attire is expected, and flashy or unconventional clothing can be seen as disrespectful. In South Korea, golf has become extremely popular and prestigious, but access to courses can be limited and expensive. Korean golf culture tends to emphasize the social and business networking aspects of the game, and golf rounds often include elaborate meals and entertainment. Korean business golf culture includes specific protocols about who pays, how groups are organized, and what activities accompany the golf. Understanding these protocols is essential for anyone doing business in Korea and participating in golf-related networking. In China, golf culture is relatively new but growing rapidly. Chinese golf often emphasizes luxury and status, and courses tend to be elaborate and expensive. Business golf in China can be an important part of relationship building, but it requires understanding Chinese business culture and the concept of guanxi, relationship networks that are crucial for business success. Let's talk about golf in the Middle East, which has exploded in popularity and sophistication in recent decades. In countries like the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, golf courses are often spectacular oases in desert environments, and they represent significant investments in leisure and tourism infrastructure. Golf culture in these countries tends to emphasize luxury and hospitality, with extensive facilities and high levels of service. However, cultural sensitivity is crucial when playing golf in Middle Eastern countries. Dress codes may be more conservative than what Western golfers are used to, particularly for women. Understanding local customs about alcohol, prayer times, and social interactions is important for avoiding inadvertent offense. Business golf in the Middle East often involves extensive hospitality and relationship building that can extend far beyond the golf course. Understanding the importance of personal relationships in Middle Eastern business culture is crucial for anyone participating in golf-related networking in these countries. Now, let's explore golf culture in Latin America, which varies significantly from country to country but has some common themes. In countries like Argentina and Mexico, golf culture often emphasizes family and social connections. Golf courses frequently serve as social centers for extended families and business networks, and understanding these relationship dynamics is important for visitors. Business golf in Latin America often operates on different time frames than what North Americans or Europeans might expect. Relationships are typically built over longer periods, and patience and consistency are more important than immediate results. In many Latin American countries, golf is associated with higher social classes, and course access can be limited and expensive. Understanding these social dynamics and showing appropriate respect for the privilege of playing is important for building relationships. Let's talk about some specific practical considerations for international golf etiquette. First, research is crucial before playing golf in any foreign country. Understand the general cultural expectations, business practices, and social norms of the country you're visiting. This broader cultural awareness will inform your golf etiquette and help you avoid mistakes. Learn basic golf terminology in the local language if possible. Even a few words like thank you, excuse me, and good shot in the local language show respect and effort that will be appreciated by your playing partners and course staff. Understand currency and tipping customs before you arrive. What's expected for caddies, staff, and other service providers varies dramatically from country to country, and getting this wrong can create awkward situations or offense. Be flexible about food and beverage customs. Golf courses in different countries often have different traditions about what's served, when meals occur, and how social time is structured around the golf. Being open to these differences and participating enthusiastically shows cultural sensitivity. Here's something about international golf that's particularly important for business travelers. Understand the role that golf plays in the specific business culture you're entering. In some countries, golf is primarily social recreation. In others, it's an essential part of business networking. In still others, it might be seen as exclusive or elitist. Knowing these cultural contexts helps you navigate business relationships appropriately. Let's talk about some common mistakes that international golfers make and how to avoid them. The biggest mistake is assuming that your home country's golf culture is universal. American golfers, for example, sometimes expect the same level of cart usage, course conditioning, and service style that they're used to at home. This can lead to frustration and cultural insensitivity. Another common mistake is not understanding local dress codes and traditions. What's perfectly acceptable golf attire in one country might be inappropriate or even offensive in another. When in doubt, err on the side of being more conservative and traditional. Language barriers can create etiquette challenges, but they can also create opportunities to show respect and cultural sensitivity. Don't assume everyone speaks English, and make an effort to communicate in the local language when possible. Here's something about pace of play that varies internationally. What's considered appropriate timing can differ significantly from country to country. Some cultures value careful, deliberate play, while others emphasize speed and efficiency. Observe and adapt to the local pace rather than imposing your preferences. Let's discuss some strategies for successful international golf networking and relationship building. First, be genuinely interested in learning about local golf culture and traditions. Ask questions, show curiosity, and demonstrate that you value the opportunity to experience golf in a different cultural context. Be patient with relationship building. In many cultures, business relationships develop more slowly than Americans might expect, and rushing the process can actually damage potential partnerships. Show respect for local customs and traditions, even if they seem unusual or unnecessary to you. These traditions often have deep cultural significance, and respecting them shows character and cultural sensitivity. Be flexible and adaptable. International golf often involves unexpected changes, different standards, and unfamiliar procedures. Your ability to roll with these differences gracefully says a lot about your character and suitability as a business partner. Here's something about gift giving that can be important in international golf settings. In many cultures, small gifts or tokens of appreciation are expected or valued. Understanding these customs and preparing appropriate gifts can enhance relationships and show cultural awareness. Let's talk about some specific tips for different types of international golf experiences. For resort golf and vacation destinations, understand that you're often playing on courses designed for international tourists, but local staff and customs still matter. Show respect for local workers, understand tipping customs, and be patient with any language or cultural barriers. For business golf in foreign countries, do extensive research on local business culture, golf traditions, and relationship-building practices. What works in your home country might not translate directly to other business cultures. For golf during international business travel, understand that golf might be viewed differently by your international colleagues than it is in your home country. Be sensitive to these differences and follow the lead of your local contacts. Here's the bottom line on international golf etiquette. Golf is a universal language, but it's spoken with different accents and dialects around the world. Understanding and respecting these differences not only makes you a better golfer, but also a more effective international business person and global citizen. The skills you develop in navigating international golf etiquette, cultural sensitivity, adaptability, respect for tradition, and patience with differences are exactly the same skills that make for successful international business relationships. Master international golf etiquette, and you'll find that golf becomes not just a recreational activity, but a powerful tool for building relationships and understanding cultures around the world. Every course you play internationally becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and connect with people from different backgrounds and perspectives. The beauty of golf is that it creates connections across cultural, linguistic, and national boundaries. Understanding and respecting the different ways that golf is played and valued around the world enhances those connections and opens doors to relationships and opportunities that can last a lifetime.